Here's the thing, there is lots of news and blogs and articles and research coming out with great insights about retail media, but LinkedIn is really like the water cooler of our industry. And I think that the discussions that happen on that platform can be even more insightful because they allow you to discover new things that have been sort of vetted by the community, and you can get into the comments. And that's where some of the best gold comes from, is what your peers are saying about different topics, about new research, about some big trend coming out in the industry. But a lot of people are intimidated by LinkedIn, or they just don't know how to tap into this as an information source. They log into their account and they're just not seeing anything interesting. They're not seeing all of these insights that other people talk about. So today I'm going to share some of the ways that I use LinkedIn as an information source about the industry. Good morning and welcome to the Retail Media Breakfast Club. I'm your host, Kiri Masters, and every weekday at 6 a.m. Eastern, I bring you candid and real discussions in the world of retail media and marketplaces in just 10 minutes. So bring your own cup of coffee and we'll get smarter about retail media together. So the first thing I'm going to share is about curating your feed. And so this is about following the right people, following thought leaders in the space, which may be on the solution provider side. There's a lot of really smart agency people out there. There's a lot of really smart people who lead software and technology companies out there that you can be following. And then there are some brand side people that are very generous with their learnings that are sharing on LinkedIn. So step number one is to populate your LinkedIn feed with the smartest and most prolific people out there, because that means every time you log on, you're going to see content from people who are thinking and sharing about what you want to learn. There's a saying that you're an average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And I think that is also true on LinkedIn. As I scroll through my feed, I'm seeing content from people who are sharing really insightful stuff in this space, people who are sort of industry experts. I'm seeing new research from Stratably. I'm seeing comments in here from people on the brand side. And so I can log into my feed and get a sense of what's coming up, what's interesting, some interesting new concepts and ideas. And I'm never going to be short of insights when I'm logging into my LinkedIn feed when I'm following the right people. So what I would say here is ask your peers for recommendations and the top people that they follow. And this is a great place to start, because what your friend or peer over at another brand or at another company, you already trust their taste. Ask them for recommendations. And if you don't know a whole lot of people that you could count as your peers, then this is also a great way to build your network. People are happy to help when they're genuinely asked a question like, hey, I see that you get a lot out of LinkedIn. I'm looking to build the list of people that I follow so I can get a bit more out of the platform. Who do you suggest I follow on LinkedIn to get better insights about the retail media industry? And that's such an easy ask, and people are happy to help with that. So I would suggest just reaching out to a few people, even if you don't know them or you don't know them super well, and ask, hey, who do you follow that's legit and worthwhile? So number 2, after you've started to populate your feed with people with interesting points of view, you can use this notification bell feature, which allows you to get notified when specific high-value individuals or company pages are posting. So I'll show you how this works. If I want to be notified of someone's posts, I just go to their profile and I click this notification bell at the top of his profile. And then I've got a few options here. I can get notified of all posts. I can get notified of his most relevant post, or if I'm seeing too much in my feed and I want to see less of him, then I just turn them off. But I find once I've discovered someone really interesting, I might want to go over and click the bell notification so that I can see more of their posts. I will say you want to use this sparingly so that your feed doesn't get dominated by just a few people. You can also use this tactic to unfollow irrelevant connections. Let's say you have a lot of the content in your feed is from old connections from a previous industry or an old company, or your friends from college or something like that. And it's not anything against those people, but you can curate how much of that content you see by turning off notifications there. Now, the next big theme I want to talk about is saved posts. And you can use this LinkedIn saved post feature to easily revisit valuable content. When I'm on LinkedIn, I see so much stuff. There's so many good ideas now that I've stacked my feed with interesting people sharing interesting ideas. It can get really overwhelming and there's just so much good stuff. So I want to save some of these posts to come back to. And importantly, you need to develop a process then around revisiting those saved posts. So you're not just going through saving a whole bunch of posts and never coming back to them. There's a little bit of a process here. I'm going to just show you how it works for me. So I actually find this can be a little difficult to locate in LinkedIn. It's not the most intuitive. But basically, when you go to your homepage, you can go down to this section called Saved Items. And this is, sort of just buried here. It's kind of crazy. You see saved jobs, posted jobs, my learning. That's LinkedIn's learning management system. And then here is what I want: saved posts and articles. For my purpose, it's revisiting them so I can maybe think about incorporating them into articles or into a podcast episode like this. Now, there are also some third-party tools. There's one that I've tried, and you need to do your due diligence around LinkedIn tools and make sure that they are compliant and everything, because LinkedIn really doesn't like third-party applications. There's one I played around a little bit called Linked Mash, which allows you to export your posts into a Google Sheet or to Notion. So I've played a little bit around with that, which is cool. But LinkedIn does actually allow you to export your saved posts, but the process is a little bit cumbersome. You may just find it easier to go to your saved posts, copy and paste it, put it into ChatGPT to summarize some things. But like going throughout your week and saving some posts, coming back to them, putting together a digest, that is a great way to build a process to synthesize all of the great information that you're finding. And I think it's great when people take the next step and share that with their internal teams. Hey, here's some interesting things that I saw, or share with your executive teams. Here's what's going on in the world of retail media that is becoming a bigger and bigger part of our business. So saved posts on LinkedIn, good way to bring all of that together. Now, the final thing I want to talk about to maximize your LinkedIn experience, I've talked about ways that you can be a casual observer and basically a lurker on LinkedIn without posting anything. This is just a way to improve the quality of content that you're seeing when you're logged in. But if you want to take it a next step further, actually participating in comments, commenting on posts, that actually helps the LinkedIn algorithm show you more of that valuable content as well. So this is like a little baby step towards being more active on LinkedIn yourself. You don't have to do it, of course, but it tells the algorithm which content you want to see more of when you comment on relevant posts. It can be a really thoughtful and insightful comment, or it could just be a, hey, this was really great, thanks for sharing. And LinkedIn will start sharing more of that type of content with you in the future. So these are my tips for making LinkedIn a better experience for you to track research and trends in our quickly evolving space. Hope you found it helpful. Well, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Retail Media Breakfast Club. We meet here every day at 6 a.m. Eastern. So be sure to subscribe and get your daily dose of insights, trends, and hot takes in the world of retail media and marketplaces.